I was standing in my dream wedding venue, staring at the floral arrangements I picked, the candles I chose, the aisle I imagined walking down, except it wasn't my wedding. It was hers. And the man at the altar? The one who was supposed to be mine? He was standing there, smiling at her. Then, as if to twist the knife deeper, my phone buzzed. One message: "You'll never outshine me." This is a story of betrayal, heartbreak, and learning to rise stronger than before. Before we get into the story, let us know where you're watching from, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I always believed friendships like ours were rare, the kind you hold on to for a lifetime. Brooklyn wasn't just my best friend, she was my other half in every way except blood. We met in 4th grade. I still remember the moment, clear as day. I had just opened a brand new box of crayons, 64 colors, all perfectly lined up, when out of nowhere, this girl with messy curls and a determined look on her face snatched my razzmatazz crayon right out of my hand. "You weren't using it," she'd said, like that somehow made it okay. I was furious. But before I could snatch it back, she grinned and offered me her glitter gel pen in exchange. A fair trade, she called it. That was Brooklyn, bold, confident, completely unapologetic. And somehow, instead of fighting over that crayon, we ended up sharing our entire art supply stash for the rest of the year. That one stolen crayon turned into sleepovers, whispered secrets, inside jokes no one else understood. She knew everything about me, my dreams, my fears, the way I bit my lip when I was nervous. And I knew everything about her, the way she hated her middle name, the way she secretly wanted to be famous, the way she always had to win. Looking back, maybe I should have paid more attention to that last part. But at the time, Brooklyn was my person. The one I could always count on. And then I met Tyler. I wasn't looking for love when he walked into my life. It just happened. It was my junior year of college, and I was running late for class, arms full of books, coffee balanced precariously in one hand, when I slammed right into him. My coffee? All over his hoodie. "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I barely got the words out before he laughed, actually laughed, shaking off the coffee like it was nothing. "Guess I needed a new hoodie anyway," he'd said, flashing a smile so warm that, for a second, I forgot to be mortified. That was Tyler, easygoing, funny, kind. And somehow that awkward coffee-soaked moment turned into study sessions, long walks, late-night talks that made my heart feel lighter. And before I knew it, I was in love. Brooklyn was thrilled. Or so I thought. She was right there for everything. The first date, the first "I love you," the moment Tyler got down on one knee, ring in hand, and asked me to marry him. She cheered the loudest, hugged me the tightest, told me I was the luckiest girl in the world. And I believed her. Because why wouldn't I? She was my best friend. So when she volunteered to help plan my wedding, I didn't hesitate. I let her in on every detail, the venue, the dress, the decorations. I trusted her. And that right there was my biggest mistake. At first, everything seemed fine. Brooklyn threw herself into wedding planning with the same energy she always had, bold, confident, and just a little bit bossy. "You need someone to keep you on track," she'd tease, flipping through bridal magazines like she was the one getting married. "And who better than your best friend?" And I agreed. After all, she knew me better than anyone. But looking back, I should have realized something felt off. It started small. Emails to vendors that she swore she sent never actually went through. "Ugh, I don't know what's up with my inbox lately," she'd say, rolling her eyes. "I'll resend it." Bridal shop appointments that she suddenly couldn't make at the last minute. "I feel awful, but work is killing me right now," she texted. And then, there were the comments about Tyler. She dropped them casually, laughing like she wasn't saying something completely insane. "You sure he's ready for marriage?" she'd asked one night, swirling her drink with her straw. I frowned. "Of course. Why would you even ask that?" She shrugged. "I don't know. He just seems, I don't know, kinda distracted sometimes." I felt my stomach tighten. Tyler wasn't distracted. He was just busy. We were both juggling wedding plans and work. It was normal, right? Then she said, remember that party last year?" He flirted with me. Not in a serious way, obviously, but still. My breath caught in my throat. "What?" She laughed, waving a hand like it was nothing. "Oh, don't freak out. It wasn't a big deal. Just playful. He probably didn't even realize he was doing it. I opened my mouth, then closed it. I wanted to tell her she was wrong, that Tyler wasn't like that. That he would never cross a line. But something about the way she said it, the casual confidence, the way she kept stirring her drink, not even looking at me, made me doubt myself. And she knew it. Then came the venue disaster. It was perfect. A breathtaking garden, with string lights twinkling like stars, a cobblestone path leading up to a beautiful glass-enclosed reception area. It was my dream. We booked it 6 months in advance. Everything was set. Then, out of nowhere, I got a call. "We're so sorry," the coordinator said. "There's been a scheduling mix-up. Another couple just finalized their booking." I blinked. "But, that's impossible." I signed the contract. I put down the deposit. There was a pause on the other end of the line. "I understand. I really do. But unfortunately, their paperwork was completed before yours. There must have been a delay in processing." A delay? How? I felt my heart sink. Brooklyn was the one who said she'd handle confirming everything. She swore she'd double-checked it all. When I told her, she gasped, horrified. "Are you kidding me? That's insane. Let me call them." She was furious. Livid. She paced the room, phone in hand, voice sharp as she argued with the venue. And in the end, she saved the day. "They're not budging," she told me, shaking her head. "But don't worry, I already started looking for another place. I'll fix this." I wanted to be grateful. I wanted to believe she had my back. But something about it didn't sit right. Still, I pushed the doubts away. Because Brooklyn was my best friend. And best friends don't betray you. Right? A week before my wedding, everything felt like it was falling apart. Brooklyn had been distant, too busy to meet up, too stressed to answer my texts right away. "I'm just slammed with work," she said, her voice rushed every time I called. It didn't make sense. Brooklyn always made time for me, no matter what. And now, when we were days away from one of the biggest moments of my life, she was pulling away. Then, the night before my final dress fitting, my phone rang. It was Mia, a friend from college, someone who had always been more of an acquaintance than a bestie, but she was one of the few mutual friends Brooklyn and I had. She sounded hesitant. "Are you sitting down?" I laughed weakly. "Why?" There was a long pause. Then she said it. "Because Brooklyn is getting married this weekend. At your venue. To Tyler." I almost dropped my phone. My ears started ringing. "What?" I asked, convinced I misheard. Mia sighed. "I thought you knew." "I really did. I mean, the invites went out a while ago. I just assumed." "I didn't get an invite." My voice felt foreign, flat. Silence. Then Mia exhaled, long and slow. "Oh my God." I forced a shaky laugh. "This is a joke, right? A prank." She didn't answer. I swallowed. "Tell me you're messing with me." More silence. Then a soft, "I'm so sorry." My stomach twisted. My chest ached like someone had physically punched me. This couldn't be real. This had to be some kind of sick misunderstanding. But then, she sent me the proof. Screenshots of the wedding website. A picture of their invitations. And finally, a photo of Brooklyn and Tyler together, smiling. His arm was wrapped around her waist like he had never held me. I couldn't breathe. I called Tyler. Straight to voicemail. I texted Brooklyn. Just one word, "Why?" The typing bubble appeared immediately. 3 dots. I waited, my hand shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. Then, the message came in. "You'll never outshine me." I stared at the screen, my vision blurring. My heart wasn't just breaking, it was shattering. Brooklyn, my best friend, had stolen my fiancé. And she wasn't even sorry. She was gloating. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to march over to her apartment and demand answers. But I couldn't move. Because the truth was sinking in, she had been planning this for months. That's why she sabotaged the venue. That's why she planted doubts about Tyler. That's why she suddenly didn't have time for me. She wasn't busy. She was busy stealing my life. And now, I had to decide what to do next. I don't remember getting up. I don't remember grabbing my keys or slipping on my shoes. All I remember is rage. Raw, burning rage that clawed at my throat, choking back everything else. Pain, heartbreak, disbelief. Brooklyn had taken everything from me. My fiancé. My wedding venue. My future. And now, she was laughing about it. I wasn't about to let her get away with this. I drove straight to the venue. It was late, the sun just beginning to set, casting long shadows over the entrance. I barely registered the valet as I stormed inside, my heart hammering in my chest. And then I saw her. Standing in the middle of my wedding venue, surrounded by decorators, grinning as she inspected the floral arrangements, the ones I picked out. The candles I chose flickered softly around her. The chairs I rented lined the aisle I imagined walking down. Except it wasn't my wedding. It was hers. And the man at the altar? The one who was supposed to be mine? Tyler stood there, smiling at her like I never even existed. I didn't think. I walked straight up to her, my hands clenched into fists. What the hell is wrong with you? Brooklyn barely flinched. She turned around slowly, the train of her white dress, my dress, the one I had once described to her in detail, flowing behind her. Oh hi, she said, like we had just run into each other at the mall. Didn't expect to see you here. I stared at her. Was she serious? She tilted her head, amusement flickering in her eyes. You seem upset. You stole my fiancé, I hissed, my voice shaking. You stole my wedding venue. And now I swallowed hard, bile rising in my throat. You're acting like this is normal? Brooklyn sighed, like I was being dramatic. Oh come on, she said, rolling her eyes. You know this was bound to happen. I blinked. What? She gave me a pitying look. Sweetheart, let's be real. You were never meant to outshine me. I felt like I had been slapped. She smiled, tucking a loose strand of hair behind her ear. You always had everything, didn't you? She mused. People liked you more. You got the better grades. You had the perfect relationship. And I was always just, what? Your sidekick. Her voice hardened. Not anymore. My chest ached. You did this to win? Brooklyn smirked. I did win. Tyler shifted awkwardly beside her, not even looking at me. I turned to him, my voice raw. And you? You went along with this. He had the nerve to sigh, rubbing the back of his neck. Look, I didn't mean for it to happen this way, okay? But, he hesitated. Maybe Brooklyn's right. Maybe we were never meant to be. Something inside me shattered. I stared at him. At them. Brooklyn was glowing, like she had finally taken everything she ever wanted from me. And Tyler? He wouldn't even meet my eyes. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. But instead, I smiled. Because in that moment, I realized something. They deserved each other. They deserved this mess they had created. And I deserved better. I turned on my heel. Brooklyn called after me. Oh, don't be a sore loser, babe. I didn't turn back. I walked right out the doors and into the night. And I never looked back. I drove home in silence. Not the kind of silence that feels empty, but the kind that settles. The kind that marks the end of something. Brooklyn and Tyler were gone from my life. For good. And yeah, it hurt. It hurt in a way I didn't even have words for. But underneath all that pain, all that betrayal, something else was there too. Relief. For the first time in days, I slept. Not well, not deeply, but I slept. And when I woke up, I didn't reach for my phone, waiting for some new betrayal. Instead, I just laid there, letting it sink in. I wasn't getting married today. But neither was Brooklyn. Because karma? It was about to do its job. It started with the messages. A flood of them. From mutual friends. From family. Even from wedding vendors. The moment the truth got out, how Brooklyn had stolen not just my fiancé but my entire wedding, people lost it. The guest list? Tanked. Half the people invited refused to show up. And the vendors? Oh, they had words. Turns out, most of them had no idea Brooklyn had stolen my venue. And when they found out, they walked. Florist? Cancelled. Photographer? Gone. Caterer? Pulled out last minute. Even the wedding cake got scrapped. Brooklyn's perfect wedding? Falling apart. And then came the final blow. I was sipping coffee when my phone rang. I almost didn't answer. But then I saw the name. The venue owner. I hesitated, then picked up. Hello? A pause. Then, I just heard what happened. I didn't know what to say. But before I could figure it out, she continued. If you still want the venue, she said, it's yours. For free. I nearly dropped my mug. What? She sighed. I don't do business with liars. And Brooklyn? She lied to me. To everyone. I swallowed. But. No buts, she said firmly. Take it. Make something better out of it. And right then, an idea hit me. A wild, ridiculous, perfect idea. I threw a party. Not a pity party. Not a sad, my life is over kind of thing. No. I threw a celebration. Of freedom. Of new beginnings. Of the fact that I dodged the biggest mistake of my life. And let me tell you, it was legendary. My closest friends showed up, all dressed in what was supposed to be my wedding theme. We danced. We laughed. And for the first time in weeks, I felt like myself again. The girl who didn't need a cheating fiancé. The girl who didn't need a toxic best friend. The girl who was going to be just fine. As for Brooklyn and Tyler, their wedding day turned into a disaster. Brooklyn texted me, furious. You ruined my wedding. I just smiled at the screen. Because the truth? She ruined it all by herself. And me? I was finally free. Because real happiness? It's not about beating someone else. It's about moving forward, on your own terms.